Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome back to your online classes. I hope you must have enjoyed your Eid. May Allah's blessing fill you and your family with happiness now and always. This is my lecture number 13 for grade trio, and today we will have a geography class. As we are done with unit number 1, which was the natural topography of Pakistan, now let's start unit number 2, which is all about the climate of Pakistan. So take out your books, turn on page number 28, and the first topic is the climate and weather. So let me give you the differences between the weather and climate first. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere at a particular place over a short period of time, whereas climate refers to the weather pattern using statistical data, means the average of a place over a long enough period to yield meaningful averages. This is the main difference. Climate is the average weather over a long period, and weather is the daily condition of the atmosphere of a place. Like if I ask you, how's the weather of the Murray? So you might say it might be snowy, it might be rainy, it might be cloudy, it might be sunny, it might be a bit warm today, it might be very cold today, but there is a variety of temperature or the condition of weather. But if I ask you, how's the climate of the Murray? So the answer will be only one, that is, the climate is cold. Then on the same page, page number 28, we have a topic of climatic zones of Pakistan. And Pakistan lies in the temperate zone. The climate is generally arid, characterized by hot summers and cool or cold winters, and wide variation between extremes of temperature at given locations. So this variation is because of the different locations that we have. So we have to divide different regions of Pakistan topographically. It's like there is a physical features that is different from each other. So Pakistan's topographical features range from lofty mountains. Lofty means high mountains in the north to the coastal plains in the south. So the coastal area, you know that the coastal plain or the coastal area is the bank of the sea of a country. So the climatic divisions of Pakistan are, like, we have four divisions in the country: the highland climate, lowland climate, the coastal climate, and the arid climate. So from north to south in Pakistan, we have a huge topographical features or differences in the country. Pakistan extends from 24th degree north to about 37° north. Its western border lies close to 62 degrees east. Its northeastern border extends to about 74 degrees east, while Kashmir extends to 80 degrees east. To the north of West Pakistan lie the lofty mountainous ranges of the Pir Panjal, the Greater Himalaya, and the Karakoram ranges. The Suleiman Mountains are in the northwest, while Koh Taftan and then lower ranges in continuation of the Namaksar Desert beyond them lie to the west between Pakistan and Iran. These physical features have a great bearing on the climatology of the area in so much as they not only modify rainfall and temperature pattern of West Pakistan but also greatly influences the general circulation of atmosphere in the subcontinent. So this is the variation we have in our country. So you can see the map of Pakistan. Here we have Zone A. Zone A is highland climate, and we have lofty mountains in this whole region. Himalayas are here, then we have Hindu Kush here, and with China-Pakistan border, we have Karakoram range. So we have some lofty mountain ranges here. The whole region, the Kashmir and the whole of Pakistan of this region, the northern Pakistan is comprised of zone A, and all these region we have western mountains here till the end tail of Pakistan. So we have the whole region is known as zone A. Then zone B comprises of lowland climate, and this is almost the whole of Punjab with a part of Sindh, and these are the plains of Pakistan. Then zone C is the coastal stripe of Pakistan, and this is the coastal area and having the coastal climate. Then zone D is the whole of the desert area. Here we have the Thar Parker and here we have the Haran Desert. So both of the areas are desert, and this is arid, and it zone D have the arid climate. So let me explain again the zone A, B, C, and D. You can see zone A indicates highland climate prevailing over northern, northwestern, and western mountains. Zone B has lowland climate and which prevails over the whole of the Indus Plain. Zone C has coastal climate experienced by the uh, Makran coast, Karachi coast, and the Indus Delta till the Run of Kutch. And Zone D, which has arid climate, and it includes the southeastern desert and southwestern part of Balochistan. A division of climatic zones does not imply exactly the same condition throughout the zone. There are great variation in rainfall temperature, humidity, etc. in the same climatic zone. For example, northern highlands and western highlands fall in the same climatic zone, but the amount and seasonal distribution of rainfall is different. Marine Hazara Hills experience more than 1500 millimeter of average annual rainfall mostly during the summer season, whereas in the western highlands Quetta and Pichian receive only 250 to 500 millimeter average rainfall. So let's start with Zone A, which is the highland climate. This region includes the northern, northwestern, and western highlands. So we have the northern mountains and the western mountains here in the single region. But there's a difference between the two regions in the temperature as well as the rainfall. The winters are long, cold, and snowy, and the summers remain short and mild. In mountainous areas, rainfall is normally associated with altitude. Altitude means height. So obviously, you know that the altitude of the northern mountains are higher than the altitude of the western mountains. That's why the temperature is very low in the northern mountains, and it receives most of the rainfall. While in the western mountains, they receive less rainfall, and the temperature is comparatively high in the western mountain. So the height of the northern mountains ranges from 2000 meters to about 4000 meters, and while in the western mountains the height is approximately from 1000 to over 4000 meters. So this is the difference of the altitude between the northern mountains and the western mountains. So as there's a difference between northern mountains, the difference between the altitude of the northern mountains and the western mountains, so obviously there's a differences between the temperature and the amount of rainfall. So the rainfall in the northern mountains is the highest in the highland zone, in the whole of highland zone, as we have northern mountains and western mountains. So the rainfall is highest in the northern mountains because of its altitude. The western mountains experience less rainfall. From south of Kohat and Waziristan, rainfall decreases and occurs during the winter season. To the northwest, Gilgit and Chitral also experience low rainfall as they are the rain shadow areas. A rain shadow is a dry area on the leeward side of a mountainous area. I have told you in grade 7, I think, in the relief rainfall, that there are two sides of the mountain. One side is this windward side, and the other is the leeward side. So the rain shadow is a dry area, and this is on the leeward side of a mountain area, and which is away from the wind. The mountains block the passage of rain, producing weather system and cast a shadow of dryness behind them. So in this area, the areas that are some of the areas like Gilgit uh, are the rain shadow areas in the northern mountains. The temperature condition also vary from north to west depending on the altitude. Summers are short, mild, and wet in the northern mountains, but dry and warm in the western mountains. So this is basically the difference between the northern and the western mountains in the highland zone. So zone B have a lowland climate which is semi-arid to arid. Like arid means dry season. So that is semi-arid to arid. This region includes the whole of the Indus Plain except the coastal areas, like the whole of Indus Plain that starts from Attock towards Thatta in Sindh. So this region includes the whole of Indus Plain except the coastal areas, because the coastal areas comes under the coastal climate. So most parts of the Indus Plain lie at the western end of the tropical monsoon zone, and it has a arid and extreme climate with hot summers, cool winters, and summer monsoon rainfall. So a kind of extreme weather is here, extreme climate is here, and the amount of rainfall differs from north to south. The foothills of the northern mountains and Potwar Plateau are wetter than the Indus Plain and also receive rainfall from the Western Depression. The foothills of the northern mountains means the Siwalik Hills and the Potwar Plateau, which lies south of the Islamabad, are the wetter than the Indus Plain, and they also receive rainfall from the Western Depression. Western depressions are the source of rainfall in Pakistan, and these depressions are the cyclones which originate in the Mediterranean Sea. They travel across Afghanistan and Iran and then reach the western part of Pakistan. The moisture in the air is evaporated, causing rainfall in Pakistan. Thunderstorms are another source of rainfall in Pakistan, and these thunderstorms are also common in the north and northwest of the Indus Plain. The southern upper Indus Plain and the whole of the lower Indus Plain have much less rainfall and spells of very high temperature. And then zone C have a coastal climate, and this region includes the southern coastal stripe comprising of the Indus Delta, Karachi, and the whole of the Makran coast. The climate is dominated by sea breezes throughout the year, and the maritime influence keeps the daily range of temperature low. So maritime means the sea breezes that comes from the Arabian Sea. So because of the sea breezes, it influences the temperature of the area and keeps the daily range of temperature low, or we can say it is moderate throughout the year. So on page number 29, you have this figure 2.2, which is the physical differences between water and land account for differences in rate of heating and cooling, as like the land and the water, the sea area and the land, the coastal area, the land of the coastal area that absorb the sun heat at different rates and even radiate them at different speeds. Let me explain this figure. So the figure shows that the influence of sea is left mainly throughout the prevailing winds. Prevailing winds, the current existing winds that blows throughout the year. The temperature at sea and on land is different owing to unequal heating of land and water by the sun. Land and water absorb the sun's heat at different rates and also radiate or lose it at different speeds. In summer, the land heats up while the ocean remains comparatively cool. In winters, the land loses heat quickly and becomes cold while the ocean is much warmer and keeps it warm for a long time. The humidity level is the moisture in the air that is moderately high, exceeding more than 50% from April to September because of the maritime or the sea breezes. A mean monthly temperature is 32 degrees centigrade, and May, June, and October are the hottest months. During October, dry winds from the southeastern desert dominate the climate, and rainfall is scanty. Scanty means insufficient or low rainfall throughout the year. From Karachi up to the Rann of Kutch, which is in the deltic plain of Pakistan and also towards the Indian border, the coast experiences most of its rainfall during the monsoon season, while on the Makran coast it falls in winters. Now the last zone, zone D, which have an arid climate. This is the arid zone, and which comprise of on the desert areas of Pakistan. And arid means dry, so the climate is dry here. And arid climate is experienced in southwestern Balochistan and southeastern desert. It is markedly dry and hot. Hot, dusty winds prevail almost continuously from the mid-May to mid-September. Most of the scanty rainfall, also the rainfall is scanty or insufficient in the desert area here, but most of it, this scanty rainfall in southwestern Balochistan takes place during the winter season only. In the southeastern desert, summer monsoons bring little rainfall. Extreme heat, dryness, and dust storms are the main features of this arid climate. So this is the dry climate in the Thal Desert, the Tharparkar Desert, and the Haran Desert. That is the location of the arid zone. So I think this is enough for today's lecture. Let me give you an assignment here. You have to do question number 1 of unit number 2 from page number 47. And the question is, with reference to temperature and rainfall, identify and explain the differences in the climate zones of Pakistan. So you know that there are 4 climatic zones of Pakistan, and you have to uh, give account on the reference of the temperature and rainfall. So highland zone, coastal zone, as a lowland zone, coastal zone, and arid zone. You have to give it's the temperature of all 4 zones and the rainfall. So first you have to identify the exact location, then give the altitude of the area, then also give the temperature of the area and the rainfall of each zone. So this is your assignment. Do it on your neat notebooks and please make a margin line. Maintain your index also, and please write today's date and day. Thank you so much, dear students, for watching this video. We'll meet up again with another video. If still you have any confusion, you can drop down your queries in the comment box. I'll entertain all your queries, and we'll meet up again in another video with another topic. And till then, bye. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed.